you to the 21st annual Meet Us at the Bridge. I'm Daphne Baker. This is a day of remembrance, mourning, and recognition for 12 community members we lost in the last year. This event may evoke painful emotions, so please take care of yourselves and each other during our time together and throughout the remainder of your day. You will notice to the left, we have a resource table that can help with any needs you all may have and can provide you with more information about today's event and also resources throughout Nashville. At this time, we would like to welcome the chair of Meet Us at the Bridge, Susan Tucker Smith. Susan is the Assistant Director of Victim Witness Services at the District Attorney's Office and has been the Victim Witness Coordinator assigned to follow domestic violence homicide cases since 2003. Please welcome Susan Tucker Smith.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today. Most of you who are our regular attendees are used to seeing Dr. Dorinda Carter at this time. She has been the voice of the bridge for many, many years, and we love her dearly. Unfortunately, Dr. Carter had a death in her family and was unable to attend today. So I will do my best to sort of fill in for her. I will certainly not fill her shoes, but we send our best to Dr. Carter and her family, and we certainly want to see her back with us next year. We do thank you all for joining us today here. I cannot believe this is the 21st year that we have stood on this bridge together to recognize work here in Nashville and to remember those that we have lost. So thankful to all of you for being here today. We especially would like to thank our dignitaries, Mayor Freddie O'Connell, Judge Anna Escobar, Judge Allegra Walker-Burdine, Judge Marcus Floyd, Chief John Drake, Councilperson Bob Nash, Judge David Briley, Acting U.S. Attorney Rob McGuire, Deputy District Attorney Amy Hunter, and I hope I haven't missed, good morning, Joy Stiles. Yes, thank you, Joy Stiles, Councilmember Joy Stiles. Yes, so thank you all for being here today. The Nashville Coalition Against Domestic Violence was organized in January 1992. The mission is to promote meaningful interactions among domestic violence advocates and organizations and provide community education to prevent and respond to domestic violence. Meet Us at the Bridge began in 2005 when Gene Crow and other members of the Nashville Coalition Against Domestic Violence wanted to start an event to commemorate Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The event was to have a two-part program to recognize those professionals who have put forth great effort in working to end domestic violence and to create a memorial service for those victims in our community who lost their lives to domestic violence. This event has always been on the John Siegenthaler Bridge on a Saturday in October. We have recognized many individuals and organizations for their commitment and dedication to our community. In addition, standing on this bridge, we have tossed 202 roses for those we have lost. Today, we add an additional 12 names to that list. Mayor O'Connell has been a long-time attendee and supporter of this event, and we are so thankful for his commitment. His presence has spoken volumes, and we look forward to continue working with him on his efforts to improve victim safety and offender accountability. Please welcome the Mayor of Nashville and Davidson County, Mayor Freddie O'Connell.
Good morning, everybody. I have I can't remember how I first heard about this event, but I will say it's such a fundamental part of our recognition locally of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I hope you all will help me recognize Susan and Daphne, the Nashville Coalition, as they have put this event on for 21 years. Thank you all. And you've heard the recognition of public leadership. It takes the Metro government, it takes law enforcement, it takes the process of prosecution, it takes the judiciary to adequately serve the victims we know we're recognizing and memorializing today. So I want to thank all of you for being here, because I know so many of you here today are committed to the work of defending and advocating for current victims and preventing fewer victims. So thank you all for being here, and I especially want to recognize the families and friends of those 12 people we've lost to domestic violence here in Nashville this past year. You can learn more about them on the program, and of course, please do stay for the ceremony and the awards. We are honoring memories today at this special service, and we have to continue honoring them after today with the work that continues. We know that as grief brings us together, purpose must drive us forward. And I will say, we have people working with purpose. Chief Drake is here with his first responders and a combination of partnerships with second responders. He and his department are working together to serve trauma victims, moving them from crisis to opportunity through the dedication of their officers and detectives, and through the Metro Nashville Police Department's Family Intervention Program. That program served nearly 1,000 people and conducted almost 5,000 therapy sessions in 2024, and remains an exemplar of how we serve victims. And with his leadership and smart community safety partnerships and investments, crime today is down in all categories in Nashville. So Chief Drake, thank you. It's important. Meanwhile, with general funk support, domestic violence victims can experience accountability for their offenders, increasing their healing and decreasing the likelihood of continued harm. And of course, with the support of Diane Lance and the Office of Family Safety, she is the leader of the core of Metro's domestic violence support efforts. Our two family safety centers provide hope and healing to victims from the trauma they've experienced. These centers saw over 40,000 visits just last year from people and families experiencing abuse and who needed help. It's critically important that we have them. We are still a leader in the nation in terms of our approach to this effort. Now, Director Lance, yes, it's worth some applause. Director Lance, I know, has sent her regrets and deep sympathies to the families of the victims. She is not able to be here this morning, but I will tell you her office remains hard at work. And from the new Domestic Violence Safety and Accountability Assessment Report released in August, we've learned a lot over the past 10 years. The first assessment report 10 years ago led to the launch of the first court-based family justice center in the country with the Gene Crow Advocacy Center, which just celebrated its 10th anniversary last September. It also led to our first governmental department focused on victims of interpersonal violence, which is now the Office of Family Safety, and it led to the opening of one of the largest family justice centers in the world. This first report guided efforts at reforming some of our practices to increase safety for victims and accountability for offenders, but the second report confirms some of the progress we've made on victim-centered care and validates the collaboration we see right here at the Bridge. We've made great strides on initial response thanks to better risk assessment tools. Our Metro Nashville Police Department now uses lethality assessments, where officers ask victims questions on scene to determine their risk of being killed by an abuser. The Office of Family Safety has advocates, and other service providers are using a danger assessment. We've invested in better training, and not just for first responders. Metro mandated recurring DV training for all Metro employees starting in 2019, and the Office of Family Safety provides regular training opportunities for all practitioners. And we've invested in facilities and structure, including those two family justice centers and our first Office of Family Safety. And those investments continue. I hope that people who have been here over the past 21 years and people who continue to come in honor of the memories of victims know that Metro is not standing still, and our partners and providers are not standing still. In this year's operating budget, we've added 6 new full-time employees to the Office of Family Safety. 4 of them are crisis advocates who are the foundation of the office's work. This is critical as we're seeing big cuts in funding from Victims of Crime Act at the federal level, and so where federal support is retreating, I will tell you our local government is stepping in. We're also continuing to focus on firearms dispossession and ensuring that a total picture of someone's record is visible during the local bond process. And I will say we will keep working on behalf of victims and to prevent future victims with all of your support. We've come a long way. That's reflected in this report. It's reflected in the additional downward pressure on crime we see from our police department and community safety partners. But we've got more work to do as this event continues to remind us. So thanks to each of you for moving us in the right direction. My deepest sympathies, again, to the families and friends of loved ones that have been lost this year and in the past 21 years. In their memories and in remembrance of those lost before, we will continue to work tirelessly towards a future without violence, where the bridge becomes a celebration of a safer city with no domestic violence homicides. So thank you all for being here. It's an honor to be with you.
Thank you so much, Mayor O'Connor. We do appreciate your support and continued leadership. There is so much good work happening here in Nashville, and we take this time to spotlight the individuals and organizations who are out there making a difference in our community. Our first award today is the Outstanding Service Provider, and this year's Outstanding Service Provider is the Mary Parish Center. And this award is being accepted by Executive Director Mary Catherine Rand. For over 2 decades, the Mary Parish Center has been a lifeline for survivors of domestic violence in Nashville. As the region's longest-standing transitional housing program dedicated solely to survivors of interpersonal violence, the Mary Parish Center offers far more than just a safe place to stay. It provides comprehensive, trauma-informed services that foster healing, autonomy, and long-term stability. Through a holistic model that includes clinical therapy, case management, housing navigation, economic empowerment, and survivor-centered engagement opportunities, the Mary Parish Center ensures that survivors are not just safe, but supported in rebuilding their lives. Their leadership in the domestic violence coordinated entry and rapid rehousing reflects a deep commitment to improving access and equity across the housing continuum for survivors in crisis. By centering the voices and needs of survivors and investing deeply in community collaboration, the Mary Parish Center exemplifies what outstanding service truly looks like. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mary Parish Center and Executive Director Mary Catherine Rand.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the MPC, thank you so much for this incredible honor. This award truly belongs to the staff for the way that they show up every single day with such dedication and heart. And we know that we could not do this work without our community partners. And we accept in honor of survivors because every day they really continue to inspire us to keep pushing forward and to strive for more. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary Catherine. Our next award goes to the Outstanding Law Enforcement Leadership. This year, the award is presented to Detective Joshua Beauchesne from the Domestic Violence Division of the Police Department. Though Detective Beauchesne has only been with the Domestic Violence Division of the Metro Police Department since May of 2024, he has already changed the lives of numerous domestic violence survivors through his compassion, hard work, calming demeanor, and attention to detail. His dedication to supporting survivors of domestic violence goes far beyond the badge. One assistant district attorney said, "Whenever I see his name on a case, I already know we will have everything we could possibly need for successful prosecution. He is bright, kind, professional, and truly one of the hardest working people I have ever had the pleasure of knowing. I mean, wow. Because of his unmatched dedication to domestic violence investigations and his trauma-informed interaction with victims, he has been chosen to teach new officers at the Nashville Police Academy on best practices and protocol of how to respond to and handle domestic violence cases. A victim earlier this month relayed that Detective Beauchesne did a wonderful job of making her feel safe and supported, and his encouragement and convinced her to petition for an order of protection. She shared that this was the first time she felt like police could truly help her, which is an experience we wish for every domestic violence survivor. Ladies and gentlemen, Detective Joshua Beauchesne.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to start out by thanking the Nashville Coalition and everyone else involved that took the time and truly took the time to set this up. It turned out amazing. I also want to show some appreciation to everyone that nominated me for this award. It's a great honor, and I truly appreciate it. I also wanted to take a second to shout out my fellow detectives, supervisors, everyone at the Family Intervention Program, the Family Safety Center, and the District Attorney's Office for the great work they do on a daily basis. I'm truly so grateful to work with each and every one of you every day. Thank you.
Congratulations, Detective Beauchesne. Our next award is Outstanding Government Official. This year, this is presented to the General Sessions Domestic Violence Court, which is comprised of 4 specialized domestic violence judges: Judge Allegra Walker-Burdine, Judge Anna L. Escobar, Judge Marcus Floyd, and Judge Robin Kimbrough Hayes. All domestic violence cases start the court process with one of these 4 specialized judges who handle all of the General Sessions criminal cases as well as the General Sessions orders of protection. As the judges in domestic violence court, they take care to be compassionate, respectful, and trauma-informed to all parties while following the law. Highlighting some of their individual accomplishments, Judge Walker took the initiative to apply for a technical assistance grant to improve domestic violence court procedures and adopt best practices, and all judges traveled to St. Louis to learn from their courts. Judge Walker also separated the order of protection dockets from the General Sessions criminal cases to decrease court delays for victims, defendants, and court personnel. Judge Escobar has championed several focuses, including increasing Nashville's work on strangulation and stalking. She is the presiding judge of Athena's Court and provides trauma-informed judicial leadership in the treatment court for sex trafficking survivors. Judge Floyd updated the firearms dispossession affidavit so that it includes essential information to prove lawful dispossession. Judge Hayes is working with the General Sessions Probation and Office of Family Safety to implement the new bond compliance officers provided in this year's budget and to address the lack of bond oversight and ensure high-risk domestic violence offenders are not violating their bond conditions. So, ladies and gentlemen, this year the Outstanding Government Official goes to the General Sessions Domestic Violence Court, Judge Walker-Burdine, Judge Escobar, Judge Floyd, and Judge Kimbrough Hayes.
All right, so first of all, good morning. It's a beautiful morning today. I want to thank the Nashville Coalition for this nomination. It is truly an honor. I served as presiding judge last year, and I was chair of the Domestic Violence Committee, and we added on Judge Kimbrough Hayes to our team, and we had, it just took like fire. Like last year, I really will say we really were on fire. We did lots of collaborations. We did lots of unpacking of different issues and how we wanted to re-envision our division, re-envision safety in Nashville, making sure that victims were safe. We really had a good time. I expect more things on the horizon. We got new positions coming, compliance officers that helps us with victim safety. we just got so many things going on. I mean, we have a whole kiosk that's coming to night court when you get orders of protection, where it whatever language you speak, you can go in and plug in that language. That helps also with victim safety. We have so many great things going on in domestic violence court. I am over the moon. My colleagues are over the moon. Judge Floyd, Judge Escobar, and Mr. Arnold is representing his wife, who is not able to be here today. He is supportive, too. He is one of our favorite extra teammates. So anyway, thank you, Nashville. Thank you, Nashville Coalition. And that's it. Anybody have anything else?
Thank you, judges. Thank you for being here, and congratulations. Our next award is the Innovative Domestic Violence Program, and this year this goes to a new program called Survivors First. We have something new this year we're going to try out. We actually have a video explaining this program. So in lieu of a bio, we would direct your attention to the video. Maybe.
She called for help, but when the police arrived, she was the one arrested. Her reasons were overlooked, her fear unseen, because when survivors of abuse fight to survive, they're sometimes labeled the offender. Every year, countless women are misidentified as abusers. Survivors First, a path to healing.
In Nashville, the District Attorney's Office and our partners at the YWCA are working together to change how the system responds.
We have launched the Survivor Defendant Diversion Program. This is a program that helps our survivors, getting them out of the courtroom and giving them the care that they need.
In order to participate in Nashville's Survivors First program, a survivor must be a known survivor of intimate partner violence, be facing a misdemeanor charge, and have no severe or ongoing mental health or substance abuse issues.
Once cases are approved, they're paused and not punished. And within 48 hours, the YWCA Nashville reaches out to provide this support. From legal assistance to counseling services, to parenting support, even pets, we are here to help them heal, stabilize, and move forward with their lives.
And the best part is, survivors don't have to come here to a courtroom. They're not forced to face their abuser. Survivors are believed, not burdened.
Because when we offer real help, survivors don't fall through the cracks. They rise.
In just a few months, over 65 survivor defendants have been served. Their charges retired. Their lives restored.
Once approved defendants accept Survivors First support, they are provided that support through the YWCA. If they have no new arrest, the result is case dismissed. The outcome is not a conviction, incarceration, or probation. The outcome is a case dismissed and expunged. The outcome is healing.
This is how we bring justice to life, not just through prosecution, but through compassion.
Hope can be policy. Help is victim support. Be the change your community needs. Partner with us. Survivors First, Davidson County District Attorney's Office, and the YWCA of Middle Tennessee.
Thank you for that wonderful video. The Innovative Domestic Violence Program Award this year goes to Survivors First. The award is being accepted by YW Senior Vice President of Domestic Violence Services, Daphne Baker, and Team Leader of the District Attorney's Office Domestic Violence Prosecution Team, Christina Johnson.
I just want to talk to survivors out there and just let you know that we see you, we love you, we will meet you where you are, and you will always have one of us standing in your corner, standing next to you, ready to walk through this journey to healing alongside you.
Yeah. And I'd just like to say that this is really my baby with spending most of my career in correction. And I just thank the District Attorney's Office. I thank our CEO for kind of just letting us kind of go with it. We're still, developing. We're still working through some things, but we're still changing and saving lives. Thank you.
Congratulations to Survivors First. I do want to take one moment to let you know there will be a Metro Police Department drone in just a moment flying overhead taking some aerial shots. I didn't want anyone to panic or worry about what the drone was, so just giving you a heads up that it's okay. This year's Outstanding Survivor goes to Rusty L. Burge. 17 years ago, Rusty and her 3 children arrived at the doors of the Y.W. Weaver Domestic Violence Center in Nashville, seeking safety from a life of unimaginable trauma and abuse. It was a turning point, not just in her life, but ultimately for countless others. Since that moment of escape, Rusty has transformed her personal story into a source of empowerment for survivors and a call to action for communities, lawmakers, and service providers. Rusty has shared her journey publicly, never for recognition, but always to educate, advocate, and support others. She has appeared in multiple YWCA awareness campaigns demonstrating not only the devastating impact of domestic violence, but also the transformative power of comprehensive support. As a member of the YWCA Nashville and Middle Tennessee Board of Directors, Rusty leads with authenticity and compassion. She was instrumental in advocating for and securing $2 million in federal ARPA funds to renovate the very shelter that once gave her refuge. Today, that shelter houses dozens of women and children each night, and Rusty ensures their voices are heard in every room where decisions are made. She calls herself a survivor, but Rusty is much more. She is a champion, a leader, and a living example of what is possible when survivors are believed, supported, and empowered. Ladies and gentlemen, this year, our outstanding survivor, Rusty L. Burge.
How do I speak after that? For a moment, I think back to the time when I showed up at the Weaver Center and the hopelessness that I had from being stalked for an entire year before, my tires slashed, put across a table by my throat, looking at a person who said they loved me, not my current husband, by the way. He always asks that I tell people that in a crowd. But those are the things with my 3 children looking on when that happened. And you think in that moment, where do I go? What do I do? I wasn't raised like this. I was brought up in a good family, didn't know that this happened. And I look back at the pattern of slow isolation that happens and the slow hopelessness that starts to come from it. Everybody asks, why don't you just leave? there's so much more to it than that. And so for a moment, I look at that board and I say, I barely escaped being a picture on that board. And for those who are on my side, the ones who do barely make it, because I literally he was one street away with a gun when he got hit by a car that stopped him from coming to kill me after several attempts of doing so before. Then I had to go to a battered women's shelter, and thank God they were there to take me and my kids in so that we could start the recovery. But today, I own a company that I get to help restore men that have had issues in their past and help empower them so that they don't become one of the abusers. I get to help women who have gone through what I've gone through see that there is a rainbow on the other side that says you can achieve greater things and be a business owner and have a life and impact other people. And I hope that you guys will continue to advocate with me how important it is not just to have the justice for what is happening, but the change for the young people before it happens so that they know what good, healthy relationships look like. They know what abuse looks like. They know what the separation starts to look like so that they know what the red flags are to not have it happen to them. And continue to support all of the things in Nashville that are doing wonderful work in the advocacy of stopping domestic violence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rusty. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing part of your story. We certainly salute you and admire your courageousness and bravery. It's now time for our remembrance ceremony, and we honor the 12 lives that we have lost since our event last year. If you are a family member or friend, you should have been in touch with a family liaison, so when your loved one's name is called, please step forward to the podium. At this time, I would like to introduce Captain Blake Giles from Metro's Domestic Violence Division, who will lead us in this ceremony.
Amina Anna Darbashi Pierce, 30 years old.
Unfortunately, Anna's family couldn't be here today. Anna was a devoted mother of 2 girls, as well as an amazing colleague and friend. She was employed as a 9th grade biology teacher at Hunter's Lane, where she worked tirelessly to grow the tennis program and had aspirations to eventually become a principal. She is quoted as being the most compassionate and loving teacher and mom, and she will be greatly missed by her family, friends, and colleagues.
Sharon Sanders, 47 years old.
How's everybody doing? I come to speak for Sharon. She was a free-spirited person, a loving mother, great truck driver, auntie, grandma, and here to let you know there's faith in doing the right thing, so I love you, Mom.
Leslie Yunt, 44 years old.
Leslie's family couldn't be here today, but somebody, a friend Candy, shared with me how much Leslie meant to her. She met Leslie as a young girl with beautiful blonde hair and striking blue eyes, who turned into a strong and courageous woman. Her story is a reminder that domestic violence is real. It's silent, it's consuming, it takes too many lives every single year. But there is help and there is hope. If you or someone you love is facing domestic violence, please know you're not alone. Today we remember Leslie. Let us honor her by keeping her spirit alive through compassion, courage, and a commitment to speak out against domestic violence. May her memory continue to inspire us all to love harder, protect one another, and never stay silent.
Elanshay Williams, 25 years old.
This is hard, real hard. You had to get to know Elanshay to know Elanshay. I'm her aunt. This her granny, her father, and her little sister and great nephew. Well, nephew, I'm sorry. But you will have to know her. She was a sweet person. It's not fair that we have to be here doing this. Not fair for any of us, but she is missed. And she was well loved, still well loved.
I just came in honor and support of my daughter. I just want to say thank all y'all for coming out.
I come out to support my grandbaby, Elanshay Williams. I want y'all to know she was a beautiful person and she loved her family.
Markeith Bass, 34 years old.
Marquis' family was unable to be here today, but he is greatly missed by his friends and his family.
Darlene Dee DeRosa, 65 years old.
Mr. Rosa's family lives out of state, so they were not able to make it. But I was able to speak with her son pretty extensively about his mom, and he wanted me to read this on his behalf. Good morning, everyone. Today we gather not only to remember, but to honor. To speak the name of a woman who meant so much to so many, Darlene DeRosa, lovingly known as Dee Dee. She was an awesome mom, a loyal friend, and a grandmother, and a soul who found joy in the simple things, laughing with others, breathing in the fresh air, and being present in the lives of those she loved. Dee Dee was the kind of person who made you feel seen. She had her struggles like many of us do, but she never let them define her. She showed up with love, with laughter, with strength. And that's what we remember today, her presence, her warmth, her humanity. But we also stand here with heavy hearts, because Dee Dee's life was taken in violence, a fate no human being deserves. Her story is not just personal, it's part of a larger truth. Too many lives are cut short by senseless acts, and too many families are left grieving in silence. So let this moment be more than remembrance. Let it be a call to awareness, a call to action. Let us honor Dee Dee and all victims of violence by refusing to look away, by speaking out, by building communities where compassion is louder than cruelty and where every life is treated with dignity. Dee Dee deserved peace. She deserved safety. She deserved to grow old, surrounded by love. And while we cannot change the past, we can shape the future in her name. Thank you. And that's from her son, Dan Mareshi.
Merlin Esther Cordova Natarin, 35 years old.
Today, we remember Miss Merlin Cordova Natarin. Her life ended far too soon, but the love she gave is still felt by those who knew her. In my work supporting families affected by domestic violence, I have seen how love gives people strength, and her life reminds us of that. We honor her as a mother, a friend, and someone who mattered to the community. May her memory remind us to support one another and stand against domestic violence. I would also like to honor her in Spanish. Hoy recordamos a Miss Merlin Córdoba Natarén. Su vida terminó demasiado pronto, pero el amor que dio sigue presente en quienes la conocieron. En mi trabajo apoyando a familias afectadas por la violencia doméstica, he visto cómo ese amor da fuerzas a las personas y su vida nos recuerda eso. La honramos como madre, amiga y alguien importante para la comunidad. Que su memoria nos inspire apoyándonos unos a los otros y decir no a la violencia. Thank you.
Cassidy Shuli Madison Jackson, 23 years old.
Good morning. Cassidy's family regrets that they cannot be here. They do not live here in Nashville. But her mom did ask that I read this out to you all. Cassidy, you did not deserve what happened to you. We loved you. We miss you every day. You are my only child in my world, my everything. My heart will forever be broken until we are reunited again.
Nayurka Alfonso Acevedo, 52 years old.
Nayurka's family is not able to be here today, but I do want to tell you a little bit about her. She was born in Cuba and came to the U.S. in 2013. She worked at Chadwell Elementary for over a year and was the backbone of her family. She had a joyful spirit, loved the beach, family vacations, had an appreciation for fine perfumes, and loved flowers. Her daughter said she was the one who could turn even the saddest day into the best in the world. She leaves behind 2 children and 2 grandchildren.
Samia G. Magzawi, 34 years old.
Samia's family lives in Tunisia and we're unable to be here today, but we have a beautiful tribute from one of her co-workers. In loving memory of Samia, I met Samia 2.5 years ago while working at Walmart. From the very beginning, she left a lasting impression, always with a warm smile, kind-hearted, and incredibly dedicated to her work. She was someone who carried quiet strength, working tirelessly, not just for herself, but for the future of her daughters. Her world was her daughters. She spoke of them often, saying how much she missed them and how deeply she wanted the best for their lives. Everything she did, every long shift, every second job was for them. Her love for them was the driving force behind her resilience. The last time I saw her was just 3 days before the tragedy that took her from us. I remember those days clearly because she was so full of purpose, happy, hopeful, and determined. She was preparing for her citizenship exam, with dreams of finally being able to visit her daughters in Tunisia. She was juggling 2 jobs to pay for their education, and yet she still found time to smile and lift others around her. I once asked her, "Are you going to take me to see your land?" And with a soft, reserved smile, she replied, "Yes, I'll let you know when." That was Samia, private, humble, and deeply grounded. She never showed signs of hardship or mistreatment. She told me she was alone and that her focus was on moving forward for the sake of her daughters. Samia's grace, strength, and unwavering love for her children touched everyone who knew her. I will always remember her for the light she brought into the world, even when her own journey was not easy. May her memory be a blessing. May she rest in peace, knowing that her love lives on in her daughters and in the hearts of those she left behind.
Miranda Gray, 46 years old.
Miranda's brother was not able to be here today as he lives out of state, but he did take some time to write a little bit about their relationship. Growing up, Miranda was my sister, 3 years younger than me. Up until high school, everyone called her Randy. Of course, as she grew up and started high school, she insisted on being called Miranda. It took a while, but finally it took, and I was the only one to call her Randy, just to poke at her. That being said, as kids, anytime I went outside to play, it was always, "Take your younger sister with you." So growing up, we were always playing outside together with our friends from the neighborhood. Obviously, as an older brother, I didn't always want my kid sister hanging around, but the truth was, we had a lot of fun and kid adventures. She was a pretty good little sister because she rarely tattled on me. The one thing about Miranda, since she was a child, was she was into her studies. She was a straight A student. Seriously, she never got a B. She made me look terrible. In school, she was involved with the band. After graduation, she received a scholarship to the University of North Alabama for playing clarinet and her academics. She spent 2 years there until she transferred to Auburn University, where she struggled microbiology and graduated at the top of her class. After graduation, she went to work at St. Jude's in Memphis. Realizing that her calling was in science and research, she moved to Ann Arbor, where she received her doctorate of philosophy in microbiology and immunology from the University of Michigan. She never let me, or anyone else for that matter, forget she was a doctor. After receiving her doctorate, she moved to Maryland and started doing research at the Naval Base in Bethesda. She had several papers published about her research. She fell in love with the area, especially Washington, D.C., and she spent a lot of her time there and helped with campaigning for candidates that she believed in. One interesting note about Miranda is that during her studies, she auditioned and actually was a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Let's just say she didn't do very well, but she loved having that experience. So not only was she a doctor, but she had been on national TV, still continuing to make me look bad. Then her team lost their research grant, and this is where she was somewhat lost. Research had been her passion. She took on other jobs and kept moving forward, but the wind had been taken out of the sail. But Miranda had always been a social person. She was loud and boisterous and funny, and was always up for one activity or a different adventure. This earned her a lot of friends. One friend convinced her to move to Nashville, where she could get a new start and hopefully find her passion again for research. They offered to let her stay with them while she was starting over, and I would like to think that's what she did. She had gotten a place of her own and was working a steady job and was still being the loud and boisterous sister that I knew. I know that her new start would have led her to something amazing. I know that one day we would have worked through our differences and our silly sibling rivals. I know that we would have been closer and really just brother and sister who were friends. She would have been able to see her niece, get her driver's license, and graduate, and she would have been able to start a family. We would have had family dinners and holidays together. Miranda would find the thing that made her happy and brought peace to her life, and I hate that this future was taken from her and from us. Chris.
Hi, my name's Casey. Miranda was my good friend here in Nashville. She was a smart, funny, kind, had a good sense of humor, was generous to everyone. Fell in line, generous to the wrong person. All of us have that deep in our hearts to say. She adored her 2 cats, and she was a very hard worker. I'll miss her. I'll miss her funny greetings to strangers, her weird, quirky jokes to random people on the street, and I'll think about her with fond memories every day. Thank you.
Jamani N. Parker, 20 years old.
As so many of us do, Jamani Parker came to Nashville to attend university. Her family lives far out of state and have asked that this aspirational poem be read in her honor and memory. It's entitled Remember Me. Don't remember me with sadness. Don't remember me with tears. Remember all the laughter we've shared throughout the years. Now I am contented that my life, it was worthwhile, knowing that as I passed along the way, I made somebody smile. When you are walking down the street and you've got me on your mind, I'm walking in your footsteps, only half a step behind. So please don't be unhappy just because I'm out of sight. Remember that I'm with you each morning, noon, and night. Jamani Parker.
As today's memorial closes, let's pause once more to honor the legacy and lives we have lost to domestic violence. We remember their names, their stories, their dreams, and we carry them with us as we move forward. Their light continues to shine through each of us who commits to ending this cycle, to protecting those in harm's way, and to building a future rooted in safety, dignity, and love. Today has been heavy with remembrance, but it has also been filled with resilience. If you are here today and you need someone to talk to listen without judgment, or help you navigate what comes next, please know that counselors and support staff are here and available for you. Whether it's today, tomorrow, or weeks from now, the doors are always open. Healing is a journey we will take together. So as we leave today, may we do so with renewed purpose. Let's honor the past, hold space for the present, and work diligently for a future where every home is a safe one, every voice is heard, and every life is valued. You are never alone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for remembering, and thank you for choosing hope.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.